8 of NoCoders Office Hours. I'm your host, Tanya. I'm going to start in just a moment here. We're here with members Michael and Thomas. If you don't know what NoCoders Office Hours is all about, I'd like to give you some insight. Essentially, it's very lonely bubbling. That's why I started Office Hours. You're out there on your own, you're trying to figure things out, and you get stuck a lot of the time. And you can go to the forum, you can go to different Facebook groups, you can ask people but Office Hours gives you a place 6 times per week. During the weekdays, we meet on Zoom, and you can come and ask us any bubble questions you want, and we try to help you get the answer. This way, you're not sitting there stuck for days, spending too much time on something that someone can help you learn really quick. So if you would like to join us at NoCoders Office Hours, you have to join the developer membership at nocoders.com so that you can go and find out all of the things that comes with that membership in addition to Office Hours, like our vault. And then just go ahead and join and come on into the Zoom sessions, because we'd love to meet you and help you with your bubble projects. Michael, you were here first. How's your day going?
Awesome. It's going good. Thanks so much, Tanya. It's great. No, I really appreciate the service. It's so nice and convenient. And I think you guys have really done a good job of just kind of approaching what it's like to actually develop in Bubble, and you get stuck. And sometimes it's just so much faster if you can just talk to somebody and kind of show what you're struggling with.
Sure.
Could I share my screen?
Of course. Go ahead and take over.
Great. So let's see here, desktop, one, sharing. Okay, so I built a Bubble app about a year ago. Hopefully you can see the screen. You're looking at the Bubble app. And when I built it, one of the features was it's basically a multi-page app where you could go to, you'd have a accordion style drop-down list of different sections of the app that you could go to. And back then, I could just have the action go to page. So say, for example, you're on the main page, and you want to go to the introduction, right, or some other page. Well, what you could do is I just use go to page introduction destination. And Bubble allowed me to publish this app without filling in this data to send.
Okay.
And now it won't let me publish an update on my app unless I put something here. So I know I haven't practiced the best way to publish an app. And so I was just looking at that, and I was, and rather than spend like 30 minutes to an hour, like trying to figure out like, hey, what's the best way to just send somebody within, link to a page within the Bubble app? Is there something I could put in here that would make that easy, or should I use a different action?
It's really simple to fix this. If you go to your introduction page instead of your index page.
Okay.
And then just go into the page element itself, so you can click outside of everything else.
Page element?
Yep, so or if you go to your elements tree, it'll be the top thing on the tree.
Okay. Page.
Yep, you're there. Introduction. Nope, you're there. So now what we're looking for is, it looks like your type of content is paid, and that's why it's asking you to send information into that page. It wants to know the thing in the database that is a paid record that you want to send into that page. So if you don't want to send something into that page, then you can either take off the type of content, and then it won't require you to fill out that data source when you're opening that page.
Oh, got it. Okay. All of these pages are gated behind a paywall. So I thought that I needed to have this type of content is marked as paid in order for somebody not to just be able to access the URL. Maybe there's probably a better way I could set that up.
Got it. So generally what we do within Bubble to kind of indicate that a page is behind a paywall is we have some sort of status on the user, like the status of the user could be paid yes equals yes. And then in your workflows on page load, you can direct them back to a different non-paid page if the current user's paid is no, right?
Okay. So when on page load, check workflow. It had create a workflow that says check status of user.
Yep. So
And
on page load, on page load, you would say you would put if you go down to the bottom and just click to add an event, and then on when page is loaded. So general page is loaded. Yeah. Then I would put the condition there only when current user and then you can click there, and at the bottom you can add a field or paid. If they are paid, they would have something there, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay, paid is empty, or is no.
Paid is, yeah.
If they're
so
paid,
they would be active.
Yeah, if their paid is no, then you would want to send them somewhere else.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So we're just, okay, that's interesting. Then only when, and then we'd click add another action.
Yep, navigate, go to page probably. And then generally I use my index page as sort of a switchboard. So I don't actually have anything on the index page. It's just when they arrive there, it sends them to the right place based on all of the information you know about them. But in this case, if it's just you're sending them to like the page where they can upgrade to paid, you could just send them to that page.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to remember which one that is. Same page. That'll be fine. Okay. And so then when I'm on the introduction page, or when if I go back to index and I change the go to, I would then add in current user is paid is yes.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep. So on the index page, when you're sending them to various places, you would only send them to where they need to go based on that paid.
Oh. Oops. Okay. So like that?
No. So on the introduction, you want to take that paid the type of content off of the introduction. So you go back to the introduction page and take that paid type of content off.
Got it. And so then it won't be requesting for that data to be sent.
Right.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay, so then take this off to, can I just leave
empty.
It blank?
Yep, just leave it blank.
Awesome. Okay, great. So just to review, this is awesome, Tanya. Just to review, took off the type of content on the page. And then instead of, what did I have there before? I don't even remember.
You had the type of content set to be a paid, which is a type of thing in the database, I think.
Okay. Yep. And so instead of using this type of content to basically gatekeep the users, what I've now put in is on page load, we're going to check if the user is not paid. And if it's no, then I've set up a workflow to send them to the pricing page.
Exactly.
And I'll set that up for each page behind the paywall. Exactly. Cool. Got it. All right. Well, thank you. I knew would help, and thank you so much. That's definitely I must have hacked it, obviously. And then Bubble said, no, you can't do that anymore, because I got away with it before where I could, go live with my pages, but now Bubble's saying I have to include that. So cool. Great, Tanya. Well, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome. Let's see.
I don't have any other questions.
Awesome. Thomas, do you have questions today?
Yep, I have one question. and I will just share my screen. Turns out it's not a big deal.
Okay.
So essentially, I want to attach plans to the user, and I think I have an idea. I figured it out. I've attached it. I make a change to the user when they click on a plan,
Mm-hmm.
and it stores the plan type,
Mm-hmm.
and it essentially stores one of these, right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's 100% correct, but it seems like it was okay. So at this point, I want to be able to attach those monthly generations. And so,
Okay.
yeah,
You mean you want to be able to give the person the limit?
yeah. So once a person is signed up on a specific plan, they're capped at that limit, right? So at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month, it resets. You know, things like
And they can't carry any over.
nope.
Okay.
What would happen is that if they exceeded that amount, a pop-up would show to upgrade.
Okay. So at the same point that they sign up for their plan, you would make probably a change to the current user. So go to where they sign up. Actually, let's go into the backend workflows because we'll just do this as a recursive backend workflow.
Backend.
Yeah. So,
Probably get that set right.
yep, API.
API.
And then click to enable workflows. Yeah. And then go to the backend. Bye, Michael. Thanks for coming.
Already.
Okay, so go ahead and click to add a backend workflow, and we can just make it make a new API workflow. And let's call it re-up or something like that. And then what we want to do is don't open it. I'm just going to ask a question. Do you have access to the Stripe account?
No, I've been meeting with him personally.
Okay. Because what you don't want to do is like the instinct is just every 30 days or whatever, you would just update and reset that field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, you would want to do it when they pay again, not just based on the calendar, but when you actually have a successful payment go through.
Gotcha. So like, say they subscribed on the 20th, the next 29 or 20th, the moment they get charged, then it would happen.
The moment that they are charged successfully, which means they've actually paid.
Yep.
So what I'd want to do here is set up a webhook in Stripe that triggers this workflow, right? But if you don't have access to the Stripe, then you won't be able to set that up. But what we can do is we can set up the workflow here, and then you and I can work with the client and get the webhook set up. I can,
Cool.
Yeah. All right, so click to add an action. The action is going to be data, make changes, or probably make changes to current user, unless you have a subscription thing in the database.
Plans? If that's what you mean.
So this has to be attached to the user, so probably the user is the best place to do it right now. So let's go back to the backend workflows and make changes to current user and change another field and go ahead and click there. We'll probably add a field for remaining credits.
Remaining credits is, I guess, probably want to add the one, huh?
Yep, create at the bottom there, you can create a new field. So this will be a number. And then what you want to change it to is the current user's plan types generation limit. There you go. So now what we have to do is we have to set this up as a for a webhook. So go back to the workflow. And instead of manual definition, you're going to select detect data. Yep. All right. And then when we're ready to, you're going to click that detect data. Now I'm going to set it up with my sandbox here, like, and show you the next steps. Okay.
Got it.
Hold on just a moment. I'm just going to sign out of the wrong Stripe and sign into the right one. All right. So this is my sandbox account, right? And I think I already set it up the other day. I added these keys into this one. Let's just go check. Yep, sure did. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to be able to send a webhook into my backend database. So I'm going to replicate what we just did. We'll call it re-up. We'll say detect. I'm going to go ahead and put these here because it's just easier to do that for now, but we can always add the security backend later. So then what I want to do here is make changes to something. I won't be able to see this part because I'm not going to go into like actually testing this right now. I just want to show you how you can start testing it. So I'm going to click this thing called detect data, and I'm going to click on this link to copy it. Now I'm going to go into Stripe, and in Stripe, I want to go into where it says developers, and then I want to go into this thing that says webhooks. And I'm going to add an endpoint. And then I want to find the endpoint that I want. So I think this is my endpoint here is the one that I just copied. And then I want to listen to an event. So this was this link here, this URL here is what I put in as the endpoint URL here. And then listen for successful charges. So I'm going to select this and I'm going to come down here. And I want to say, not that, that's not what I want. I want charge, payment. That's what I'm looking for, the charge. So the charge is what they call the object that's created when you charge somebody's card through Stripe. So I want a charge succeeded, right? I'm going to add this event because I don't want to run that workflow unless the charge has succeeded, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add this endpoint. And now I'm in here. I want to test it. How do I test it? Maybe I need to do it again. So I'm in test mode. Yeah, add endpoint. Is successful. Charge succeeded. Okay. And I want to events. I just have to figure out where I set this to test. I did it from here. Disable. Update details. Does anybody know where it is? It used to be easy. I thought there used to be a way you could test it from here. No. All right, let's try it one more time. Maybe I missed it. Have an endpoint. I don't see any options to Don't you love it when they change the way things work?
Right, they rework the UI for you.
And then you're like, I know I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do this? Fortunately, when I learned this, I took a video so I can go back and see if I'm missing something. But yeah, but this is essentially how you do it. Now, anytime that a charge is successful in the test mode, it will send this here. So let's just try to charge a card real fast with this open. So I'm going to go here into Bubble. Okay, so okay, so add card is so that we can collect the payment details. And charge card, we will charge the user. 10 descriptor, current users, email. I think that's it. All right. I have somebody who just broke into my office.
Well, you're remarkably calm about it.
She's cute, what can I say?
Is it one of your cats?
It is. It's the baby cat who's moving away.
I was about to say that is a very calm response to a fit burglar breaking in.
Yes. I'm pretty calm that way.
She's nicking everything, but it's all right. She's very cute, so don't worry about it.
Oh, I should have said, okay, we'll just do it this way. It's fine. I clearly chose the wrong thing. Okay, so that happened. And if it worked, this should get some data. Yeah. So that's a very circuitous way of testing it, but it did get done. right? So I was able to charge a card, and the successful charge triggered this workflow. And then what you can do with this information now is you can make changes, like you can find using the user's email here. So the thing to change could be the current user. It's probably not the current user though. You'll have to do a search because that won't belong to anyone yet. So we'll do a search for a user whose email is request data's, do they have the user email? Object billing details email, right? Something like that. And then first item. And then you can go in here and you can say like the remaining credits. Field type would be a number. And then here you could say this user's plans, like subscriptions.
Limit.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I'll come back to you if I have questions.
Awesome. Let's see, Jay, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good. You got something for me?
I do not.
Just hanging out?
Just came to hang with the bubblers.
We love that. Callum, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I do have something. I'm just seeing if I fixed it, but I'm gonna go out on a wild guess and say nope, I haven't fixed it. So yeah, you could help. It's another API, if that's all right. Or it's actually the same API. Just share my screen.
Sure.
There. I basically so the API is the government one. The API we were using before was search companies, which was this one where we had just queue and then the term being searched for. That worked. The only issue was I couldn't filter by companies that were still active. So that just throwed up a whole load of old companies with no information. I switched to advanced company search, which is this. And so there's no queue anymore. It's that one there, company name, that needs to be in there. I've set up the API in plugins. So I've taken, sorry, I appreciate I'm jumping around a little bit. The request there. And then, so that's that part, advanced search. And then I put company name equals A, and then items per page is 20, and company status is active. Company status is working, all the ones showing up are active. I think the number of results is 20 I'm getting on the page. I can't search by the company name for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why. So the way I've got that set up is when it's just normally, it just searches for a random one. And then when the search bar isn't empty, it's searching for main search's value. For some reason though, it keeps loading with credit facts at the top or something like that. Go to business search. Yeah, it always shows up with that one at the top. And if I change it, nothing happens.
Yeah, I think that this is something that is similar to a problem that I've seen in other apps. And essentially what might be happening is you run that search to begin with, you're supposed to be changing that. So Bubble should be running it again, but if it's serving the same thing, I think it's just like basically cache that. Can you show the preview again and show?
Yeah, no, it's not that, because it was on the other, because remember on the other one, it was working. So I've swapped it from the search companies, which was the one that was working on the Friday call, to advanced company search. That's all I've done. And the other one was working. It was automatically updating. So God's sake, I don't think it's that. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's trying to update or anything.
So
Or,
you didn't have a dynamic answer. So go back to the editor, go back to the field where it's like, see. So you started with Harrods, right?
yeah, so when it's empty, I mean, that can be anything. So just anything that starts with a letter A, say. But even that one,
But that's
doesn't
not
work.
working. Right, exactly. So that's my thing is like, why isn't that working? Can we go back to your plugin? Does it work when you initialize? Does it find Harrods when you initialize?
Well, that's the thing. No, it doesn't. And that's what's confusing me. It always shows credit fix as the top result.
Okay. Go back to the documentation. All right. So the company name must contain advanced search filter. I don't understand what they're saying. Bye, Thomas. If you scroll up to the top, I don't know what is it? It's saying it must contain advanced search filter. Do you know? Like, are they just saying it has to say advanced search in the get URL?
I think so. As in it must contain advanced search filter.
Name. Yeah, I would maybe try this. Not that I can even show you how to do this, but because everybody says so, probably try it in Postman and see if you get a different.
Is that right though? So I put question mark and then just that value equals.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Because if obviously if you go to the loaded version, I think just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 20. That's what's confusing me. It's sending through 20 results, which is what I'm asking it to do.
Well, change it to 10 and then do it again. No, you don't change it there. You change it where the value is. But if you, show raw data or just do it in the.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, maybe it's not. Maybe it's just loading the maximum number it'll allow. That's annoying.
It is annoying. Are you sure?
Okay, so I think 20. Yeah, 20 might be their standard.
So I don't have anything else off the top of my head that you could try other than Postman. And then you could post this in Discord and Cameron could have a look.
Okay. All right. No worries. I'll give it a go.
Yep.
Cool, thanks.
Chris, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Got anything for me today?
I do. Quick thing, hopefully not super challenging. So I'm trying to get this like search bar to work on the name of like companies. So for example, like if I type in Bent, I would expect to return this location.
Okay.
Something is not working correctly here, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, and not super good or familiar with like the search functionality on like text like that.
Sure.
We can take a quick look. So this would be the input for the search. This is the search text.
Mhm.
And then here's the repeating group that I'm searching on. So I'm basically doing some filtered searches on some other things as well. So for example, like if I click this, I want to be able to search by these criteria, and this works fine. So like if I click wineries, you'll see all of the wineries show up, right? So this seems fine. So maybe it's the combination of the two things that's causing issues. So they can search based on like those types of things. And then what I'm trying to do is like in the conditional say, change the data source to match this search and autocorrect A, which should be basically by the name of whatever I type in.
Gotcha. Okay. Is this like a fuzzy search thing?
Yes, correct. And maybe maybe there's a better way to do it. I don't know. This was done a while ago and I'm just kind of revisiting it today.
Yeah. So data sources, go ahead and click in the field to search is the company name.
Correct.
Can you go back to the preview and type Bent, but type it with a capitalized? Nope, still not finding it. Okay, go back to your editor. And let's see, input box fuzzy, text, what threshold? A threshold requires perfect match of, I can't read your screen. I'm sorry, it's too small on mine. If you can, yeah.
That might be a little too big. Hold on. Is that any better?
Yep, that's better. So threshold of 0 requires a perfect match, and your threshold of 1 would match anything. Okay, containing that. Maybe like, and you don't have case sensitivity.
Nope.
Checked. And it is checking, scroll up to the top again of that. It's the restaurant list of companies and you're searching the company name. Let's change the data source. Let's change it to the search. Or is that what they recommend doing? Is like using the repeating groups? Because that seems circular to me, because you're affecting that repeating group. So I think maybe just do the search that you are doing on the repeating group. Oh, no, I would do a search for whatever that I would copy the data source of the repeating group. Let's just try that and see if that helps.
It's fine.
Nope. And just to double check that field that we're looking for is the company name, like the one that's showing, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Jay, I know you've worked with fuzzy search. Do you have any ideas for Chris?
I'm sorry, I was blanking out. What was the issue?
we're trying to use fuzzy search and we're not getting results. Like it's just not working. And I actually don't use fuzzy search.
Did
so.
you check the element editor for it?
What do you mean? Did I check it?
Click on the little, there we are. Scroll up. And the search, is it unconstrained? Okay, and then where's the input?
Inputs are here.
And it's called fuzzy, the HTML attribute. And sometimes I found that when it gets kludgy, the only thing that will work is to delete the fuzzy element and to just make it fresh.
Do it again.
Especially when you've copied and pasted it.
This guy.
Yeah.
So delete this and just kind of rebuild it and see what response is.
Yeah, and you already checked. I'm sure Tanya already, and you both have already checked the results repeating group to make sure that the matches are right and that the input expression is right. Okay. Yeah, I would try that.
Okay.
I know it's not the best answer, but I've come across the problem a lot. Especially when I've got multiple searches on the same page, which I often do. And I've just had to start from scratch.
Okay. And again, I built this a while ago, and so that very well could be the case. So I will give that a shot.
Okay.
There's sometimes we do it and we check it and we double check it and we just can't answer why it's not working.
Yep.
And it's super frustrating when that happens.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Does anybody have anything else for today? No?
Nope.
All right, we're going to move into after hours, which is what happens when we turn off the recording and we turn on the cameras and we say hello to everybody and we feel a lot freer when that happens because we know it's not going up on YouTube or on Facebook. If you would like access to after hours where you can, feel more comfortable sharing your screen if it's sensitive data, that sort of thing, then do please go sign up at pronocoders.com for the developer membership and come and join us. We'll see you